This is the Padres POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, that intro's so nice that StreamYard played it twice. What up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And today, better than a lot of the other days this year. And as Hannibal used to say on the A-Team, I love it when a plan comes together. He had the cigar. That's why I'm doing that. And think of the movie, Bradley Cooper and Rampage. You know what I'm saying? I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, G-R-I-E-S. A big win for the Pods to wrap up this series at Petco over the St. Louis Cardinals, 7-3, the final. What does this do after the backdoor split in St. Louis? You can find me in St. Louis. Last week, now they take 2 out of 3, and they have the season edge over the Cardinals in case those dumping fire sale Redbirds end up in the wild card race with the Pods. They have that tiebreaker, and it was a beautiful day because all those plans that we saw coming to fruition on the trade deadline from A.J. Preller, man, have they paid dividends already, especially today. We'll tell you how the 7-8-9 boys making it happen. Some Merrill madness. Dylan Cease was consistent throughout a start. Maybe his best start of the season. One to grow on for sure. And the Pods end up with the 7-3 win before they take off for Arizona. And then the big division series start. 2 with the Dodgers, 2 with the Giants. Big month right here in August. We got a treat for you today. Javier Reyes of Locked On Padres Podcast going to join me to break it down. Again, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast. Thank you for making us your first watch or listen every day. We're live on YouTube right after the games. Then we upload, you download Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple, and more. And then, of course, Roku. You down with OPP? Of course not. It's OTT. Look at me with this beard. How could it be OPP? But the OTT is over-the-top television, just like this show, and it's free. It's your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 7-3 Pods to close it out. Let's roll.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Hey!
We go. We got the 2-shot down. We got it all. We just need to get Javi a booster seat because those cameras are a little mismatched. But we got the man here himself. He's built this audience. I tell him all the time, Javi, a sub for you is a sub for me and vice versa. The comments, the mailbag, all the above on all the platforms. So come on in and get with it as we ride this wave that could take us deep into October with this Padres team. Always a pleasure to have you on, my man. Give us your thoughts on what we just saw. 7-3 Pods with the win.
Man, I mean, look, I think that this weekend, the big takeaway is just going to be, it feels like it's just like a complete team now, particularly with the lineup, right? Like you had Ramon Laureano with the solo shot today. He also had a hit. He had, while they lost the game on Saturday, he did have the triple. I think the big takeaway this weekend that people are going to be discussing is that it's going to feel a lot more like last year's team because of the fact that with the exception of Freddie Fermin, who's still going to be better than what they've been dealing with Martin Maldonado, Elias Diaz, the fact that everybody in that lineup, and Arraez still has room to grow. I think that Tatis has room to get better. I think Jackson Merrill, he's starting to come around. Every single player in that lineup is an above average hitter, like a significantly. Jake Cronenworth is a 115-ish WRC plus guy, 15% better than the league average, and he's your 8 hitter, and then he gets the home run today. Like, just it's that type of stuff that I think made them so dangerous last year and why people were picking them last year and why we've seen a little bit of movement on the Vegas lines and all that sort of stuff. Shout out FanDuel, sponsor of this show.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say those 7-8-9 boys you're talking about. I mean, Laureano 2 for 4 with a 2-run scored and an RBI. Cronenworth had the 2-run homer. He had a hit. And then Fermin was 2 for 3, including a bunt single, right? So you're looking at it, and I do the math here real quickly in my head, Javi, and they were what? Right there, they were 5 for 11, the 7-8-9 boys today. And that's something that was their specific focus during the deadline. And I wanted the big bat in the middle. Props to you. You said bolster the bottom, and you nailed it, bro.
Thank you. I think that was always – I just didn't see a world in which they left the deadline without bolstering at least left field. And also – it's kind of sick that Gavin Sheets is a guy you could call up off the bench, right? Like if you need to late in a game, perhaps maybe it's one of the last bats of the game, you take out Freddie Fermin and use that bat to give to Gavin Sheets, maybe if you need to, right? Like it's just cool that there's no same glaring weakness on the team anymore, right? And I was a proponent of Dylan Cease before the trade deadline. My thing was not that I'm loving the season that he's having, not that I don't have a lot of issues, but I did not think there was a move out there that made sense. Boris guy, free agent. What are you reasonably going to get in a rental that makes sense? So, according to reports, we saw it seems like Dylan Cease, they were asking for a lot, right? So, probably were just trying to see if someone overpaid. And today you saw why. I think it's worth keeping Cease for the rest of the year, just for the possibility that he returns to what he's kind of always been, right? And it's interesting. His last 4 starts, 2 of them not very good, pretty bad actually. I was at one of them, and then 2 of them have been electric. The 2 starts against the Nationals, 5 1/3, 10 Ks, no runs. And today, 5 inning, only 1 hit, 1 walk, and 9 Ks. And then in between those, right, he had the 5-inning game, the grand slam to Mark Vientos in the Mets game that I'm sure you were like, I wish I could have been on the postcast for that one, but it was late and I'm walking through San Diego. I'm not kidding. I was like about to text you and be like, I got to just run in, but I'm in the streets of Gaslamp. People are cheering. I was like, I couldn't work. But I think those are going to be the takeaways, is that this just feels like a much more complete team. It feels like a lineup that was similar to last year. And hopefully the equivalents, right? That last year's Profar can be Laureano, right? That could be our guy this time. And last year's Donovan Solano, that could be Ryan O'Hearn. And last year's Higashioka, that could be Freddie Fermin. Sorry. I keep doing that. Freddie Fermin now, right? We wish Freddie Fermin. Oh my God, imagine. But I just think it's so exciting to see it now. My excitement for the team is rejuvenated. And yeah, there's a lot of controversy and polarization around the Mason Miller trade. But at least the very minimum, what we know is that Mason Miller, that stuff, man. I mean, I know he gave up some
an embarrassment of riches in the bullpen now. An embarrassment of riches, literally. That bullpen's the best in baseball anyway. And then you add him. It's crazy. And one thing I talk about every day, Javi, on the show is how the grit and the guts of this team, winning so many one-run games, playing small ball, sacrifices, hitting runs, all the ways they had to figure it out before they bolstered their lineup. Those are the kinds of games you win in October. So this team's battle-hardened and tough. You bring in these new guys, and they're starting to play well. So Mike Schildt has an embarrassment of riches in the bullpen, different ways to play these lineups. As he experiments, he brings in Morejon in the 9th, and you could see it rattled him. He'd been unhittable lately, not a 9th-inning guy. I'm picking on him for that, Mike Schildt, for bringing him in. But that being said, you could play different variations of this bullpen every day. Many different things you can do in the outfield, the infield with the DH now, like you said. So he has an embarrassment of riches, but so do you with your Locked On Padres podcast. You have so much to talk about now on the show, so many great episodes that you've put out since before the pandemic to build the audience. What do you have coming up this week with this new lineup and coming off this win and some huge series coming up?
I'm glad you asked, my man. On Monday, tomorrow's show, we're going to field some of your questions. So feel free to send them in the comments. You could hit up both Jim and myself, me on Twitter at Javapeno, JAVIIPENO/X, and Blue Sky as well. Reach out on there. I imagine there's going to be many comments as well from the YouTube. I usually save reading for like Sunday night, and then I check through the comments to see, because it blows up over the weekend. So I will be checking that out. And then also, Big Jim himself is going to be on the show this week. That should probably be Friday's episode. We'll be recording Thursday, I believe. So that should be a lot of fun. We'll have 2 series now to be able to really take in all the new additions, especially Laureano, O'Hearn, and Fermin. So that should be a lot of fun. And tomorrow, just going to talk about how I think there's a couple things with Schildt that he deserves credit for, right? Aside from the mailbag. I think this is a fundamentally sound team. Part of me is saying that because I remember the Yankees World Series, and the scouting report on them was that you just want to like hit stuff and make them make mistakes. This isn't a very mistake team. If they lose, it's because guys got hit or guys got beat, not because they have some random, atrocious set of circumstances. But we got close today, though, man. I got a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
I could see a grand slam coming from Wynn, and then oh man, it was like no. And he's red hot. He's been killing us in these 2 series.
Seriously.
And then Suarez gets the bullet back to the mound. It's a roller coaster ride, man. But what a week it's been. And Javi, I know you got some big things coming up. Can't wait to be on with you. We record Thursday. It'll be on Locked On Padres podcast on Friday. You are great, the best in the business.
Thanks, man.
You spoil the fans day in day out, and me as well. So thank you so much. much for being here, bro. And really appreciate you always.
Absolutely, man. Nice to talk to you as always, man. I love getting your texts and your voicemails during the game. You're like, why'd they do that? It's always great. I just love having someone to bounce back off of, and it's great. And everybody follow the postcast every day. It's just, and like you said, an embarrassment of riches.
Thanks, Javi. That's Javier Reyes, Locked On Padres podcast right here on all the same channels. A follow or sub for one of us is one for the other and for all of you as well. I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. Going to take a quick break. Not going anywhere. Neither are you. But we have some information to give you from some incredible companies who are lining up at the door. They can't wait to get to you. But we got two big ones coming your way on the other side. And then we have the turning point. And then we have the player of the game. And then we get you ready for tomorrow in Arizona. Got to win 2 out of 3 in the desert sweltering heat against the D-backs, the big sellers at the trade deadline, the biggest in Major League Baseball. It's Grease. It's the podcast with Javi, and then, of course, the postcast with me on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Padres 7, Cardinals 3, continuing on the other side with your postcast. Keep it right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Let's see if I can quickly switch to the one shot here. Oh, look at that. Right on the go. We do it. How about the production of the show? On point today and really doing great. Thanks again to Javier Reyes of Locked On Padres podcast. I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. And I get the chance to talk to you right now about 5-hour energy, man. How much energy do I need day in and day out to do this show? It is time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-hour energy transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. That's right. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest. Some days on the course or off it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. Anytime I play, I need to try to stay sharp and energized because I'm hitting it all over the place. But I don't even care once I have that shot of the 5-hour energy and I'm out there in that weather. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the bev cart. That's right. And if you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code isn't good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion-flavored 5-hour energy shots today. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. And oh man, summer sports are in full swing. And whether you're all about baseball under the lights or during the day at Petco, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, yeah, I said it, FanDuel is the best way to make every game more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling with FanDuel? You can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. So whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet right into the 9th inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Look at that. We got the shot right. We got everything right. Thanks again to Javi Reyes of Locked On Padres podcast for being here with us. You can catch him day in and day out right here on the network, YouTube, Roku, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, all the above. Free, baby. Free, the best way and the only way to be. 7-3 Padres, the win over those St. Louis Cardinals today. They win the season series 5-4, or they're up in the season series 5-4 over the Cardinals. They did the backdoor split. They've been a different team since they got the backdoor split to end that weekend in St. Louis. They sweep the Mets, who had won 7 in a row, take 2 out of 3 from the Cards, both of them in the playoff race. Beautiful result in those series, and now you keep it moving. By the way, live after the game on YouTube. We upload after on the audios and on Roku, but you can come in live with the chat during the YouTube show as well. And Jose Ortiz says, you my guy. But to say Cease had his best outing is wild. He had like 30 pitches in the first inning. He pitched well, though. He did have to pitch out of a couple of jams early. So many pitches thrown in the first and second innings, which cost him probably the sixth and maybe the seventh. That pitch economy, and when you give hitters so many times and so many looks at all your pitches, usually when they come back around, they rip you. To Cease's credit, his stuff was electric today. Didn't get himself in too much trouble with the walks. He's had trouble this year. Nice job by Dylan Cease all the way across the board. Made the big pitches when he had to early. His other best outing of the year was against the Nationals, who are a borderline major league team. So I'm going to say this was his best outing. Playoff atmosphere, playoff caliber team, even, without all those trades they made, the Cardinals, all those players they traded away, I should say. So, yeah, Dylan Cease had his best start of the season, and that's what I'm going with. And again, the Padres, 5 trades, 22 players involved, man. And look at Laureano today with a big game, right? Look at Laureano with a big game. And look at the bottom of the order, Jake Cronenworth and Fermin. And if Cronenworth's going to be that guy at the bottom, and he's going to be that guy that, gets things done down there, then maybe, just maybe, you could keep him there at second base. And maybe O'Hearn won't play first and Arise won't move back to second. I don't know, but the Padres got 2 in the 4th, 4 in the 7th. Look, Jackson Merrill with a 3-run triple in the 7th, cleared the bases after Cronenworth homered in the 4th to score Laureano. Bogarts a sac fly in the 7th, scoring Merrill. Laureano homers to right center, made it 7-0, and they needed every bit of that because in the 9th, they bring in Adrian Morejon after Dylan Cease goes 5. Adam, Estrada, and David Morgan, they each go a scoreless inning, and then they bring Morejon in the 9th. It's not his inning normally. You have Miller and Suarez, 2 closers back. What is Mike Schildt doing? Come on, bro. I mean, Morejon had been red hot to his credit, but he's not a 9th inning guy. He faces, he gives up 5 batters, 4 singles with a walk sandwiched exactly in the middle. 2 singles, a walk, 2 more singles. And then Suarez came in. So all the runs in the 9th charged to Morejon. But other than that, a flawless performance from the Padres. They did go 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, where they had been hitting .323 since the All-Star break. One of the highest averages in the majors in that category. That's the one they've really struggled with all season long. But with Michael King coming back, Randy Vasquez is gone. His locker was empty today. Michael King coming back. Darvish coming off his best outing. Cease coming off his best outing. Pivetta coming off another great outing to give him a career high in wins. And then whoever takes that spot, J.P. Sears, might be the guy. My point is, you're looking pretty good right now, and you're still 3 games behind the Dodgers. You're still firmly cemented in that wild card race, and things are just looking good for the Padres as a whole right now. You know what I'm saying? I am playing. Looking really good. And what a difference a week makes after that trade deadline, right? What a difference a week makes. Hey, do me a favor, wherever you're watching or listening, smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get the alerts when we're coming your way with more content. Drop us a note in the comments, in the letters, in the mailbag, whatever. And if you're live on YouTube right after the games, come on in, baby. Come on in. By the way, Javier Reyes, day in and day out with Locked On Padres podcast. Go and check it out. And he was fantastic on the show today. I will be on the show with him on Friday. All right, once again, 7-3 the final. Padres with the win. Couple of things to do. Short time to do them. What do you say? We get to it and get through it.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It is the turning point of the game. And what is it? Is it Robert Suarez getting Mason Wynn with the bases loaded on a liner back to the mound when a grand slam would have tied the game? You're having a heart attack at this point. An absolute heart attack. But the turning point in this game for me, I'm going to say it, and there's a couple of them, but early in the game, Dylan Cease got in a lot of trouble early, and the Padres were threatening early, but not really scoring, right? Cronenworth hit the homer, and that wasn't until the 4th inning, but the Padres threatened early a couple of times, weren't able to put runs on the board, runners on base in those innings, and really threatening, right? But then so were the Cardinals. Dylan Cease pitching out of jams in the 1st and the 2nd innings, and in that 1st inning, you're thinking about it, man. He strikes out Wynn to end the inning, and that was a big one. After a walk and a single, they're threatening there, and then obviously had the 1-2-3 second all on strikeouts. Dylan Cease did, and just didn't look back from there. The 1st inning was, and a lot of pitches in the 2nd, but he leads the majors, or he leads the team close to the top, leading the majors in swings and misses. Dylan Cease with a lot of strikeouts this year and a lot of great pitching. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. That's your turning point when Cease got out of that jam in the bottom of the 1st inning. Set the tone for his start. He really needed another real good start. That's why it's the turning point of the game, because it set the tone for Cease, which set the tone for the pitching staff and the bullpen, And then the offense just kept hacking all day long and threatening, putting runs on the board. New Jacks kicking in. 7, 8, 9 boys in the lineup were 5 for 11. Laureano and Fermin were 2 of them. O'Hearn had a hit today. You know what I'm saying? So nice job there. All right, real quick, what do you say we hit?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Man, I want to go with Dylan Cease so bad here, and I still might. You know what I mean? I always leave this subjective till the end. By the way, Louis Arise with a single early in the game extends his hitting streak to 16, career high. It's the longest since Fernando's 17 game or early in the year last year. So Merrill had the 3-run triple. Cronenworth had the 2-run homer. Cease and Adam and Estrada and Morgan were all great. Dylan Cease is right there for player of the game. And I'm also going to say those 7, 8, 9 boys, Laureano, Cronenworth, and Fermin. Laureano homered, Cronenworth homered. They were 5 for 11. They scored 4 runs, and they drove in 3. So that's a big game from those 7, 8, 9 boys. And by the way, the pitching staff, 16 strikeouts today, 1 short of their season high. But what a win for the Pods. They had won 6 in a row, right? And then they lose, but they come right back and win. So you're looking at 7 out of 8 right now for the Padres as they head to Arizona to face the Diamondbacks tomorrow night. 6:40 first pitch. Undecided as far as who the starter will be. King coming back soon. Darvish, Cease on track. Pavetta's been awesome. Sears is there, and that bullpen locked and loaded to head to Arizona. Again, 6:40 first pitch. We'll be here right after with your Padres postcast, and we will make it a great one, as always. So thank you so much for being here, making us your first watch or listen, podcast or the postcast with myself, with Javi. I'll be on his show later this week. Want to thank him again for being here, Javier Reyes, your host of Locked On Padres podcast, and remind you that you are the reason we do this. Thank you for being here and making us your first watch or listen. For your next one, check out Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night. Now they're even doing live shows from select markets. I'll be doing one eventually with the postcast and Locked On Sports Today. It's awesome. So check out Locked On MLB on YouTube for Locked On MLB Game Night every night. National coverage on a local level with the Locked On Podcast Network. Until tomorrow night, Arizona, here they come. I'm Jim Greasheimer. Call me Grease. Thank you so much for watching and listening to your Padres postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. 7-3 Padres the win, and they close out the homestand in style. What a homestand it was. 5 out of 6 from the Mets and the Cardinals. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Padre fan. We are out.